Hey everyone, welcome to my very first viewer comments video. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time as I do read every single one of the comments you guys leave. The channel just passed 7,000 subscribers and I figure now's the time to get around to doing this. And believe me, I am truly grateful to everyone who subscribed, hit the like button, and left a comment. Now just a little background on myself. I've been recording bands professionally for just over 16 years. I'm no different than 99% of you guys out there. I am a working class recording engineer, scraping by just like everyone else. I started my training at Sheridan College in Oakville, Ontario in September of 1989 and opened my first studio in 1998. I've put pretty much every spare minute of the last 16 years into the studio and developing my recording skills. I've even gotten to do a couple of really cool projects along the way. Now, the whole point of this channel is for me to pass along some of the information I've learned to some of the younger guys coming up in the field. So if you guys got questions, I've got answers. James Cole writes, "One day I'm going to fly from Australia after booking a session with Glenn. I'll bring my bass and a Line 6 pod, which I'll insist on using for the record. I'll also ask him to make sure to make my vocals perfect with Melodyne. I will then proceed to track bass, making it obvious I haven't learned my parts, and see how long it takes for him to hit me." Well, first up, I just refuse to Melodyne your vocal. I mean, I had a session a while back where somebody asked me to do exactly that, and I just replied, I'm not interested, and sent him on his way. I'm not into that style of production, and I won't do it. As for the pod comment, I'd humor you, but I'd also take a dry track and re-up the guitars when you weren't around. Then, at the next session, I'd say something like, "Wow, that pod's pretty amazing," because you guys fall for that shit all the time. And finally, for bass, I'd say, go back to Australia, learn your parts, and then email me the results, because life is far too short to waste it in the studio tracking morons. Ben Bernstein writes, "Put your fucking prompts by the camera so you don't look like a fucking idiot looking back and forth." Dude, have you seen your avatar pic? Talk about looking like a fucking idiot. You look like you're winding up to win the ultimate blowjob competition. Marius C. "To the guy in the video, how do you get that point, the point being it's about capturing a real performance across to young and not so young bands that come into your studio? Because in every new album I get to work on, the singer thinks it's a given you're there to tune everything and edit and crossfade every single word to death. Would be cool to do a video on the subject." That is a great question, and fortunately it has a simple answer. You're the producer, you call the shots. Tell the musician this: if you're expecting me to fix everything, edit the shit out of it, and auto-tune every single note, well, there's the fucking door. Go down the road to the next studio, because if you think you're ready to work with me, you'd better bring your fucking A game, because fix it in the mix doesn't happen here. And truthfully, the one thing I've done consistently for the last 16 years is to throw musicians out of the studio for not being ready. Go home and learn your part. It's a very easy thing to say. Anthony Norton writes, "Autotune is a blow to the integrity of music. It is a crutch used by those who are unable to actually deliver a quality product. The same people who use autotune are the same people that will charge you $100 to watch them lip sync on a stage. Talent should come before marketing." My friend, I agree completely. In fact, I am rather surprised at the number of comments from people who had an issue with this video. It's like, how dare you point out that we're making crappy records? To me, that's just insane. Metal Gear Solid Mother Bass writes, "This guy's whole video is flawed because music is entirely subjective. Justin Bieber is as good as the Beatles, and the sooner everyone accepts this, the happier everyone will be." Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Frederick, I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce your last name, writes, "I'm a bass player, and about 1 minute 34 seconds in, my brain exploded and started dripping out of my nose due to, well, science. Bass players, take heed. Go grab that ball ASAP." Well, we know that story's total bullshit. Bass players don't have brains. Corruption by Design writes, "I see singers cupping the mic all the time. The EV-ND967A works awesome for those that don't know how to hold a mic. And the metal cover comes off. And it's dishwasher safe." Dude, I see people cupping the mic all the time too. That's why I made this video, to explain to these dumb fucks why it's bad. L Funky A writes, "Sure, the sound is in the hands. as long as the tone is not distorted mud and the riff isn't some generic robotic palm-muted vomitarium of sound. Alright, for the 80th time, I run a metal studio. What kind of music do we record in a metal studio? Yup, you guessed it, metal. I did the test based on metal rhythm tones because I wanted to see how well the tone differentiated from player to player based on a metal riff. Is it that hard to wrap your head around that? Okay, Zimped18 writes, well, I studied bass and collage as all the others in my band. We're in the studio for 2 weeks and I had to take just one day. Anything more to say? Judging by your mastery of the English language, you are undoubtedly a bass player. And as for your story about a bass player taking just one day, I call bullshit, as that's about as real as a unicorn. Matthew McCall writes, you really hate bass players. I'm working on my skills and will join the audio world soon, and I thought guitars players were the biggest pain. I know cause I am one. Seriously, what happened between you and bass players? P.S. Thanks for the awesome info. What happened between me and bass players? 16 years of watching bass players do their absolute best to fuck up otherwise perfectly good records. And if you're preparing to join the audio world, be ready to have your dreams crushed by these guys as well. Trisman 2020 writes, and I am not altering this in any way. Try and keep up, guys. This one's kind of tough. Only 5% of the bassists in bands I listen to do epic stuff. Maybe it's because people tend to say you're only supposed to play power chords and they'll follow the guitarists. But there are epic bassists out there that do their shit riggeth either by learning them or just being epic. I'm a bassist, and if I, as a bassist, don't want to learn a song, just go to practices or studio to show off because I'm in a band is because either I don't care about the band or just want to piss people off. And also, if any of the members of the band is irresponsible, kick them the hell out for keeping those irresponsible musicians, be it a bassist, guitarist, drummer, or vocalist, is like not flushing your shit in the toilet. Do you guys see what I have to deal with? Try making a record with that! Oh, he's so mean to bass players. No! I have to deal with that shit all the time! Dude, seriously. Perhaps you might be better suited to a career path other than musician. One that takes advantage of your intellect, like banging rocks together or becoming a police officer. And lastly, Eagle Wings writes, I refuse to listen to your rambling. Offensive shirt. You must be referring to this. Well, I've got news for you, pal. You're a bass player. Nobody cares what you think. But for those of you guys out there that commented on the shirt, I will have more available in a few weeks. I'm putting together a web store on my Spectre Media site where you'll be able to order this shirt and others. So keep your eyes open. I'll make an announcement once it's ready to go. And lastly, I'd just like to say to everybody who hit the like button and subscribe, thank you so much. Keep the comments coming. I'll keep up with them the best I can, and I'll be more than happy to do another one of these.